Big data, what are the opportunity and challenges? So we want to talk about the opportunities that big data will bring to the marketing and IT industry and the changes we will make. So currently, the IT environment is mostly based on the enterprise architecture, which are the horizontal layers in a pyramid model that include the layers that each one has the specific roles and tasks, and the people who are working in that layer just focusing on their own task and then giving the output to the other layers. So other ones they have no idea what's happening in the other layer, like operation people, they don't have any idea what's happening in infrastructure, and same thing for the others. However, in the big data model, which is a global architecture. In the global architecture, all there consists of the millions of the computers and supercomputers, and all of the data is produced by these small or supercomputers. They all moving around the networks, and all of them are matter. All of them should be gathered, should be analyzed, and should be used. We should use so many different sources of the information and data and to analyze them. And this need a new model, a global architecture. To describe about it more is again talk about the enterprise IT organization that they have a horizontal model. So the people in each layer, they have a skills for doing that, just over that do the tasks which is related to that department or that layer that in the organization. For example, people in the database, they have a skills about the database only. They have no skills about infrastructure or network or applications. They have just a few knowledge that just to communicate with other layers. But in the global IT organization, the people working in the sales and marketing, they should have deep knowledge about the supercomputers and the way to use the big data analytic skills, how to use this technology to perform the task for the sales and marketing. Same for the risk management staff, same for the product recommendation staff. Nobody is just specific for that area. They should have all information about the big data and how to use this technology, how to use the tools, softwares, and these hardwares to perform their own tasks. So it become very important to master in the big data in the new ecosystem, in the new environment, in the new marketing environment and new IT technology environment. Because big data is based on the supercomputing principles. So this complexity mandates that the people who are working in this environment have sophisticated knowledge about how to use the big data technology. So basically, if we want to summarize it, big data has some impacts on the environment. It will reorganize the businesses and the IT environment into the platform teams. So platform teams, each one has some a specific task for the business or marketing, but they should have the knowledge of the big data as well, and they are fully responsible for the business result and supercomputing platform. So both of that. So it's like, as I said, they should have a knowledge for their environment, their department, for their business results, and then also how to deal with the supercomputing platforms. And higher paying carriers in the IT environment anyway, they need continuous professional development. They should have always updated. It's not just like for the 3 or 5 years that they can rely on that knowledge. This knowledge should be always updated with new training, new studying and search. And there will be a greater dependency on the open source software, because by involving the big data into the market, The thing that will be more important is these big data and the information and then value that we can extract from the big data around the world, but not by the producing and selling softwares anymore. So the softwares will be free. The companies will develop the open source software, and the thing that they make them a review is the result of the processing of this big data. So what are the first impact of the big data for the marketing itself? One of the most important rules in the marketing and very important for the revenue for the business are the current customers. Whoever has already been a business customer, they are very important because the 80% of the sales revenue coming from the 20% of the customers, and those customers are the one that had already purchased anything like a service or product from that business. They are more likely to come back. So focusing on them is very important, and to focus on them, how to encourage them, how to predict, and how to introduce a new product or service or anything to these customers is very important job, and big data has a big role here. Big data can help a lot about these customers, about how to bring them back and give us a lot of insight about the other thing which is very important in the marketing, is a very important rule, is to make it personalized. So the consumers like that those promotions that are sent to them, or the advertisement that they can see in anywhere in the environment, in the computers, in the mobiles, or anywhere, be personalized for them. This is very important concept because it increase the chance of the opening that promotion, but whether it is email or a link or anything that they can see, is the chance will be 29% more if they can see or feel it is personalized for them, and the chance that they click over those emails and then go through it and explore it is more 40% higher than the other non-personalized emails or advertisements. So the other changes that big data will bring is about the marketers themselves. Marketers, more than 80% of the marketers expect that their role will change in the next 3 years. It means that the traditional way that they were working for the marketing will be changed a lot. So they have to update themselves with the new technologies, and they know that they have to acquire big data and the new technology and these new methods. The product representatives and the people who are just represent the product maybe will be vanished soon, but marketers are still in demand because they really needed to analyze this data and then deal with this data, how to use this data for the marketing. One of the big changes in the IT environment and in the marketing environment, both of them, is the push that the smartphones has brought to this area. The smartphones and they are rapidly increasing the data and producing data in the IT, in the internet and IT environment. So we can see that 60% of the adults owned a smartphone in 2014, which was doubled by the amount in the 2011. So it's rapidly growing. And the new generation, new young people also, they are more and more moving forward to use the smartphones and to deal with their smartphone for whatever they have in the day-to-day life. So there is a is a exponential increase in data production, and by the 2020 we expect much more than this data to be produced. So it gives us the insight that there are lots of data for anything around the world produced by the next few years, which need to be analyzed to use for the marketing. This is a big opportunity for marketers to this amount of the data which are producing. It's a big opportunity because store representatives, as I said, they are losing uh, their job and then losing their potency in the market. It's not very important that you have somebody as a person or somebody who is sitting or standing in the store or a bank or any business to introduce the product. However, on the other side is the data that marketers would use to represent their product. So because right now 58% of smartphone owners prefer mobile search. So before they go to any store, before they do anything, they do a mobile search and they do or through the internet anyway by using the laptop or computer or mobile phones. And so it's very important that marketers control this information, control the flow of the information, how they present their business, their product through this information is very important because firstly, people go through their internet and they search about their service or product. So the leveraging of the information from online review sites is very important for marketers. It's very important for them how to present their product or their business in the online environment. The other thing that is very important to know about is the rapidly growth of the online search engines. So is that 9 out of 10 consumer research products before going to purchase. So it's very important to know this massive and fast growth of the search engines, search engine search that in 2004, it was only 1 billion average of the search per day in Google in United States, but in 2011, it's 4 billion. So that this number also is just growing up fast, and we can see same time that the U.S. online retail sales also increasing. If we compare 2012 to 2017, we can see the double folding of the online retail sales. So at the same time, we consider this search engine search plus the retail sales increase, we can just come up with the result that these online search and this information that produced by the consumer search and consumers buy purchase online is very important to analyze all of this data, and the businesses will be successful if they can get the right information from these big data to the right people on the right time. So the product search has 3 steps. So 3 steps of the products are the advertising, that how you advertise, so it's help the product search from the consumer side, and personal recommendations. As I said, it's very important to personalize the advertisement. So this and also the personal recommendation from the other people that they are in the market or they have purchased that service or product is very important, and online reviews. So this is something that marketers are focusing on more than before, and it become more and more important by the involving of the social media into the marketing environment. So online reviews are very important to attract the new customers or keep the previous customers to come back and buy more. So totally as a summarizing the previous few slides about the market, big data and marketing. Big data assist marketing by generating new insights about the customers and products. So we, when we know exactly the details of the customers and then the products, if the products can match to the demands or the requirements of that customers, it help a lot that actually we can direct the right product to the right customers. And by identifying the personal characteristics and customize offer for the customers, this will happen because we can just analyze the characteristics of the consumer or the customer business, that what they need, and we customize what we are going to offer to them, not just a general product for everybody. And we are able to optimize the production and distribution. We are not going to advertise the product or services to anywhere and pay any platform for advertising for us to any kind of the audiences. We optimize it, we reduce it, that reduce the number of advertisement or distribution to the people who really need it. We can predict that these people will need it and we customize that for them in the right platform. So we optimize the spending for the advertisement and spending for that amount of the money that we pay for the marketing. So we right now 1/3 of the companies using big data to make prediction. Actually, this is from the United States, but it's growing fast around the world. So we cannot tell that who is using it. We say that who is not using it because it will increase rapidly by the next few years. Almost half of the companies around the world will use big data for this prediction. And because this data is available to everyone, because it's just like a network of the billions of the nodes, of the routers, computers, cache memories, and the supercomputers, as I say. So the only thing we should know and we should do is to extract the right information from these oceans of the data, which is it is replacing the extracting oil or mining from the earth. This big data will be more valuable for for the revenue and profit for the businesses than the traditional natural resources like oil, mining, or trees from the jungle. The again emphasis of the effect of the big data, how to we can make a profile for the customers, how we identify the characteristics of the customers or the businesses which are the potential customers for our business and products. So we are going to the three layers of the belief, attitudes, and opinions at the bottom of this pyramid. And this is very important. When we analyze this data, we can identify these characters. And the next thing is lifestyle and hobbies of these consumers to customize our product or services for them. And then on top is a social and cultural behavior. So by knowing this information, we can customize, we can target, we can predict behavior and the right time and the right people. This is the main benefit of the big data for the marketing environment. So user profiling is coming up after we know these characteristics. So for each one person around the world, we should have this user profiling, and it should be automated. It should be done by the supercomputers. We cannot have the people sitting, analyze each person to do the user profiling. It's impossible. So these big data, that like the ocean of the data, just running through all the networks and internet and between the computers and supercomputers, there should be a big machine, intelligent machine to analyze all of this information and create a user profile. And that user profile, what information is in that user profile depend on the business that is that wants to use that. So for some business, it's important to have the age, income, occupation, or gender. For some other businesses, it's just important to have the geographics or education level of these users. For some of them, all of these needed. So the other things that we can use to get this user profiling is to facilitate the login of the users through the social media network. So social media or the social accounts, when you give them login in by the social account, automatically you get access to all of this information and are very valuable. So user profiling is very important, and it can allows the companies to tailor the product and services by the demographics information of the user. The other very important role of the big data for the businesses and marketers are the market segmentation. So market segmentation is not just a profile, a user profile. It means that we can group these users into the different categories. So The user profile is a different thing, is the demographic information. User and market segmentation is about the preferences that these users have. Some users like traveling, luxurious stuff products, or just like a sightseeing. Some of them they like some kind of a sport. Some of them like just interested to the cars. This is the market segmentation in each user in what segment of the market can be filled. So maybe each users can be in the different segmentation. So this segmentation help that, okay, we should advertise what kind of the product or services for these people. And that advertisement also should be customized by the user profile. So two things are needed here: segmentation and user profile. So as an example, that the Orbitz has found that the Mac users they are more interested to pay high-end hotels, to pay to book for the high-end hotels than the PC users. So it's kind of the market segmentation. It doesn't have anything to do with the age or education, but just based on the product that they're using to connect to the internet. The so both are very important, and the big data will have more role into the future IT environment and the marketing. And there are more evolution coming up from the big data rapidly, and we should always update ourselves month by month about the latest news and then technology advantage in this area. Thank you very much.